Good morning, children.
Good morning. Morning, ma'am.
Today we are going to start with a new chapter, and you know that coming Wednesday you are having a test paper on the chapter Cell, the Unit of Life. So let's begin with the new chapter. And children, you know that we all grow. I cannot grow anymore, but repairing and maintenance of cells are taking place in my body too. But you people are in the growing stage. How this growth is taking place, or which process will lead to the formation of new cells and result in growth? Can anybody tell me what? Cell division. Have you learned about different types of cell division? Yes or no? The two, meiosis and mitosis. In which class you learned? Class 9. Have you learned?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, mitosis and meiosis are the two types of cell division. And children, cell division is only for bringing about growth. Mahirin, tell me, what are the different functions of cell division? Why it is necessary? Other than growth, I told you already in the beginning. It brings about growth, helps in anybody else?
Repair.
For the repairing of the damaged cells in our body. And one more, mitosis and meiosis. If you think about the difference in terms of their function, you will get the answer. Other than growth and repair, the function performed by cell division, they will help in forming what? Which are necessary to carry out fertilization. Answer. What are necessary to bring about fertilization? What is fertilization, Annelies? How do you define fertilization?
Fusion of gametes to form cycle.
How are gametes formed? That is also by means of cell division. So it is cell division that leads to the formation of new gametes, but that is different from the cell division taking place in your body cells. The cell division taking place in your body cells is different from that taking place in your reproductive cells. So we will learn in detail about the two types of division. Let's learn more about cell division today. The chapter that we are going to deal with is cell cycle and cell division. The videos need to be turned on. Cell cycle and cell division. That is a new chapter that we are going to learn today. Let's see what is meant by cell cycle. It's a life period of a cell. So just like we say life cycle of a human being or life cycle of a mosquito. So just like that, this is a life period of a cell during which a cell synthesizes DNA. Synthesis of DNA, you call it as replication. Already the cell is having genetic material or DNA. Now when the cell is dividing, the nucleus also, the genetic material also will divide, or they also replicate. Replication means making a replica, making a copy. So DNA replication grows in size and divides into two daughter cells. So that constitutes a cell cycle. Once again, it is a life period of a cell. It is a life period of a cell during which a cell synthesizes DNA, grows in size, and divides into two daughter cells. Or else you can say, cell cycle is a sequence of events. The sequence of events by which it duplicates its genome. Genome means genetic material. Genome means genetic material. The sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes other cell constituents, and eventually divides into two daughter cells. So you can define it in any way. Two definitions I told you. I'll repeat it again. It is the life period of a cell. It is a life period of a cell during which it synthesizes DNA or replicates DNA, grows in size, and divides into two daughter cells. The other definition, what I told you, is the sequence of events. The sequence of events, just a minute. The sequence of events involving what all? Sequence of events by means of which a cell duplicates its genome. Means genetic material is replicated or duplicated. Duplicates its genome, synthesizes other cell constituents, synthesizes other cell components or constituents, and eventually divides into two daughter cells. And once all these steps are completed, the cell divides into two daughter cells. I'll repeat again the two definitions that I told you. One is that cell cycle can be defined as the life period of a cell during which the cell duplicates or replicates its DNA, grows in size, and eventually divides into two daughter cells. Or else you can say it is a sequence of events by means of which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes other cell constituents, and divides into two daughter cells. So that was the definition for cell cycle. Cell growth is a continuous process, but DNA synthesis occurs only at a specific stage. So cell will be continuously growing, or cell growing means cytoplasm, the content of the cytoplasm getting increased. So that will be continued. It is a continuous process, but in cell cycle, the synthesis of DNA or the replication of DNA will take place only during a specific stage. It's not a continuous process. You know that two major steps in cell division is the division of the nuclear material followed by the division of the cytoplasm or the cell as a whole. And growth in or increase in cytoplasm or growth of the cell is a continuous process. It takes place continuously, but the replication of DNA or duplication of DNA is specified or it is taking place only in a particular stage. You will learn about that stage later. Duration of the cell cycle, that you cannot generalize. It is different for different organism, and that too it can be different for each cell type. Cell cycle or the time taken to complete one cell cycle is different for different organisms, and that too it can vary depending upon the type of cells. Here they have given examples of two such organisms, one fungus and one is our own cell. Duration of a typical eukaryotic cell cycle is about 24 hours. Say, for example, human cell completes the process of cell cycle in 24 hours, whereas it is just 90 minutes in yeast. So this can vary, this can differ from organism to organism and cell to cell. Depending upon the cell type and depending upon the organisms, the duration of cell cycle can differ. In human beings, the time required is 24 hours. In yeast, it is just 90 minutes. Okay. Cell cycle has got two major phases. Two basic phases are there for the cell cycle. One is end phase and the other one is M phase. I'll repeat again. Cell cycle has got two distinct or two major phases or two basic phases, because why it is known as basic phases, each phase is subdivided into so many other stages. So the two basic phases are Ind phase and M phase. So cell cycle includes two major phases, Ind phase and also M phase.
Ma'am, can you show the previous slide?
This one?
No, ma'am, previous.
Okay. So the two basic phases include interphase and the M phase. Now here you can see how these two basic phases are subdivided. Cell cycle is subdivided into two major phases, interphase and M phase. And interphase is subdivided into three phases, G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase. And this G1 phase, you can even call as gap 1. This is known as synthesis phase, and then gap 2. Whereas M phase is where the division actually takes place. Interphase is actually the resting stage. Interphase is the resting stage, or else you can say it is the stage between two consecutive M phases. So the division is actually taking place in the M phase. So interphase, just like we say interval, the time between two periods, interval. So just like that, in between two M phases, the duration of that stage you call is interphase. The phase between two successive M phases, you call it as interphase. That is a resting stage. And G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase are included under interphase. Whereas M phase can be broadly divided into two types or two phases. One is karyokinesis. Karyon means nucleus. Karyon is nucleus. Karyokinesis means the division of the nucleus. And it is followed by the division of cytoplasm, cytokinesis. So in M phase, or when a cell is dividing, in the M phase, there are two distinct stages. The first phase where the nucleus undergoes division, and the second phase where the cytoplasm undergoes division. Usually karyokinesis will be followed by cytokinesis. And karyokinesis, or the division of nucleus, can be further subdivided into four stages: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. You have to learn these stages in the same order. Okay? You can remember it as PMAT. PMAT, P for prophase, M for metaphase, A for anaphase, finally telophase. Remember MAT, PMAT, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, because one stage will be followed by the other one. So the changes also, it will be easy to remember if you're learning it in order. Once again, I'll repeat, the cell cycle has got two basic stages, interphase and also, actually it is interphase is a preparatory phase. It is during this phase, the cell prepares itself for M phase, or it is a resting stage. You can say that it is a stage between two successive M divisions. One M division, once it is completed, this will be followed by interphase, then the next M phase starts. So interphase can be further subdivided into three phases: G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase. An M phase is subdivided into karyokinesis and cytokinesis. What is the difference between karyokinesis and cytokinesis? During karyokinesis, nuclear division takes place, and during cytokinesis, cytoplasmic division takes place. And karyokinesis can be further subdivided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Now we are going to learn about each of these stages in detail. And here in this picture also, you will get a rough idea about what are these different stages, what is happening in G1, G2, and S phase. So let's see in detail. We'll start with the first phase, that is interphase. Interphase is one among the two basic phases. Interphase represents the phase during which the cell is preparing itself. It's a preparatory phase, prepares itself for division by undergoing cell growth and DNA replication in an orderly manner. So you know that the new cells, the new daughter cells form. As soon as it is formed, they cannot take part in division. They have to be matured enough to take part in cell division. So once new cells are formed, some time is needed for it to be fully grown and then take part in division. So interphase stage is that preparatory phase during which the cell will grow. The cell will increase in size, the cell will grow, and the genetic material will get duplicated, or the DNA will get replicated. Replication means making a replica. Replica means copy. They make a copy of itself. So interphase is the phase during which the cell is carrying out preparation for cell division. How it is getting prepared? By cell growth and also by DNA replication in a very sequential or in an orderly manner. Or you can say this is a phase between two M phases. And even though interphase is the preparatory phase that occupies 95% of the cell cycle. So 95% duration of the cell cycle is occupied by interphase. The remaining 5% only M phases or M phase is carried out during the remaining time. Hope you got it. Major part of the cell cycle is occupied by interphase, and interphase occupies 95% of the total duration, and 5% of the duration is occupied by the M phase. And interphase is divided into three phases: gap 1, synthetic phase, and G2 phase. Synthesis phase, gap 1, gap 2. Once again, I will repeat the points. Interphase is the phase during which the cell is preparing itself. What for? For division, for cell division. Cell is preparing itself for division. How the cell is preparing itself? By carrying out cell growth and by replicating DNA. How? In an orderly manner, in a sequential manner. And how can you define interphase? It is a phase between two successive M phases. And if you see the time required for interphase and M phase, if you compare these two, you will come to know that 95% of the duration of cell cycle is occupied by interphase, and remaining 5% is only occupied or constituted by the M phase. And the three phases coming under interphase include G1, S, and G2, gap 1, gap 2, and synthesis. Okay, shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll start with the first one, that is G1 phase. There are three phases: G1, G2, and S phase. So G1 or gap 1 phase is a phase between the end of mitosis and the initiation of DNA replication. So this, you know that interphase You know that interphase has got 3 stages. G1, then S, G2, then the M phase will start. Okay, and here also there will be M phase. So this is the stage between two consecutive M phases. So if you see like this, you can make out that it is the gap between, see, it is the gap or the phase between the end of mitosis and the initiation of DNA replication. So G1 phase, it is the phase between end of mitosis and the beginning of DNA replication. DNA replication is taking place in the synthesis phase. And as such, interphase is the phase between two consecutive or two successive M phases. So it is the end of mitosis or the stage between the end of mitosis and the replication of DNA. Hope you understood how it is coming in between M and S phase. G1 phase is a phase between the end of mitosis and the beginning of DNA replication. DNA replication is taking place during the S phase. Any doubts you can ask, children? During this phase, the cell is metabolically very active. So during G1 phase, the cell will be very active in terms of metabolism, metabolically very active and keeps on growing. It will keep on growing, as I told you earlier, during the interphase stage. As I said, it's since being a preparatory phase, the cell will be growing and DNA replication. These are the two main changes taking place: growth of the cell and DNA replication. But in G1 phase, only growth is taking place, but DNA will not replicate. Remember what I told you in the introductory part. I told the cell will continuously grow, but the replication of DNA is limited to a particular stage, that is synthesis phase. DNA replication will take place only during the synthesis phase. That is why the second point is mentioned like this. During G1 phase, the cell will be metabolically very active and it keeps growing, but DNA replication will not take place during this phase, because the replication of DNA can take place only in the S phase. S phase is the phase for DNA replication. Now we have moved on to the next one, next phase. G1 phase is over. Now next is synthesis phase, or the replication. During this period only replication takes place, synthesis phase or S phase. Here the DNA content doubles. Okay, in terms of the content, if you see from 2C, it will get double to 4C, the content, but the chromosome number remains the same. So you can see in the picture that the chromosome number, here we had 2 chromosomes, 1, just a minute, 1, 2 chromosomes. So here also we are having only 1 and 2 chromosomes even after replication. But what change has taken place? They got duplicated, but the number remains same. So here you can see only 1. You call this as chromatid. Only 1 chromatid. Here they have replicated. The content has increased. The content has doubled, but the number of chromosomes will not change. It will remain the same. The content will increase. If a cell has diploid or 2n number of chromosomes at G1, even after S phase, the number of chromosomes will remain 2n. Children, I already told you the difference between n and 2n. Hope you know what is the difference between n and 2n. N is a haploid number. N indicates haploid. 2N indicates diploid. Haploid indicates unpaired set of chromosomes. When the chromosomes are unpaired, then you call it as haploid. Haploid number of chromosomes. But when the chromosomes are in the paired condition, you call it as diploid. That is indicated by 2N. So I'll give you an example where in human body we have diploid in cells with diploid and haploid chromosome number. All your body cells are having 46 chromosomes. That means they are in pairs. They are paired, 23 pairs. So it is diploid condition. All your body cells, you are having 46 chromosomes. Means the chromosomes are in pairs. 23 pairs are there. You can see them in the paired condition. So that is diploid. Whereas if you take the case of ovum in females, sperm in males, you will find only 23 chromosomes, not 46. They are not in a paired condition. They are unpaired. So in gametes, you can find haploid arrangement of chromosomes. So example for haploid cell in human body is the gamete. The gametes present in males and females. Okay. So here what is mentioned is, since the chromosome number is not changing, the chromosome number is not changing, only the content is increasing. So it will not affect the haploid or diploid condition. A chromosome which was haploid will remain haploid even after synthesis phase. A chromosome set or a cell having diploid set of chromosomes will remain diploid. So if that means, if take the case of a cell with 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes, it will remain diploid only even after synthesis phase. So the number will not change. As the number is not changing, it is not going to affect or change its ploidy. It will not change to haploid or diploid from its original condition. It will remain. That if it was haploid before, even after synthesis, it will remain haploid. And if it was diploid, even after that, the cell will remain diploid. That is because the number of chromosomes will not change. If a cell had diploid or 2n number of chromosomes at the G1 phase, even after S phase, the chromosome number will remain the same. In animal cells, the centriole also duplicates during this phase. So during synthesis phase, and I told you that centrioles are found only in animal cells, and the centrioles will produce spindle fibers for the alignment of chromosomes. So during this period, the centrioles, where are centrioles present, children? In which organelle? Where are centrioles present? In which organelle? Anybody can say. You want me to call out your name? Children, where do you find centrioles? Where are they placed? We learned in detail about their perpendicular arrangement and all. Where do you find it? Emmeline? Centrosome. They are present inside the centrosome, and these centrioles are absent in plant cells, but in animal cells, this is a stage where the centriole also will get duplicated. And now coming to the G2 phase. We completed G1, S phase, G2 phase. It is a phase during which the proteins needed for the mitotic division are synthesized and cell growth is continued. So cell growth, I told, it's a continuous process. Only the replication of DNA is limited to a particular phase. And here, another important point to be added is here the proteins are being synthesized, which are needed for carrying out cell division. So the synthesis of proteins for cell division will be prepared during G2 phase. Okay. Now, we are going to learn about another phase which I didn't mention so far. I'll repeat. Let me complete this. We are going to learn about one more phase, which I didn't mention in the beginning. So when I had told that interphase is having three distinct phases, G1, S, and G2 phase. But yet another phase is present, and that you call as G0 phase or quiescent stage. G0 phase or quiescent stage. Actually, this stage is an inactive stage. So G0 or quiescent stage is an inactive stage, and this phase is actually entered by those cells which do not divide further. So as soon as G1 phase is as soon as the G1 phase is over, there are certain cells which do not divide further. So they will enter into an inactive stage, G0 or quiescent phase, and they do not divide until it is required. So some examples are brain cells or your nerve cells, heart cells. So they don't divide. These cells do not divide. So as soon as the G1 phase is over, they will enter into this inactive stage or Q0 or quiescent stage. Okay. Once again, I will repeat. The last stage that we learned was about G0 phase. Another name, quiescent stage. What is the speciality of this stage? This stage is occupied by certain cells or certain cells which do not divide further, which are not actively dividing cells. So they will enter into a stage of inactivity. They'll not remain dividing, or they cannot keep on dividing. Definitely they'll be metabolically active. So in terms of metabolism, metabolic processes will take place, but they do not divide. Example for cells which enter the quiescent stage include your nerve cells, heart cells, cardiac cells, or cells present in your heart, and also the nerve cells. They enter into a quiescent stage after G1 phase. Once G1 phase is completed, they'll be entering into this particular phase, and they will remain in a stage of inactivity. Metabolically, they'll be active, but they will not divide. They'll not proliferate during this particular stage. In this phase, the cells do remain metabolically active, but they do not proliferate unless it is required. So with that, we have completed the different stages of interphase. So once again, I will just quickly recap all the points that we said. G1 phase or gap 1 phase is the phase between the end of mitosis and the initiation of DNA replication. And during this phase, the cells will remain metabolically very active. They grow but does not replicate its DNA. And when do the replication of DNA takes place? That is during synthesis phase. But the point to be remembered is when I say DNA replication is taking place, here the number of DNA is not getting increased, only the content is getting increased. If a cell is haploid, even after S1S phase, it will remain haploid, and if it was diploid, again it will remain diploid. So there is no change in the ploidy of the cell, as the number of chromosomes are not getting changed, and the duplication of the centriole also will take place during this phase. Then comes the G2 phase, and it is during this phase that the protein synthesis are taking place for preparing the cell for cell division. The cell will continue to grow during this stage also, and certain cells will enter into a stage of inactivity, and you call this stage as G0 stage or quiescent stage, and these are occupied, or this stage, or cells like heart cells, nerve cells, etc., will enter into this particular stage because these cells do not divide further. And in this stage, or during this particular stage, the cells will remain metabolically active, but they don't divide. So that was about the different phases. So about M phase, we'll be learning in the next class. Any slide would you like to see again?
Ma'am, G2 slide.
G2. G2. Which one?
Ma'am, last slide. Before G0 phase.
G2. This one, no? It is this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the proteins will be synthesized during this stage and the cell will continue to grow. These are the two important points under G2 phase. Cell growth will be continued and synthesis of proteins will take place. So don't misunderstand it with S phase. Synthesis of proteins is taking place in G2 phase, but DNA replication is taking place in synthesis phase. Okay, children? Shall I stop sharing?
Ma'am,
Yes, Aditya Dev?
G06.
G0. Okay. And in this figure, children, it is very clear that interphase is occupying 95% of the total duration. Here, Y 5%. And see, after M phase, it will start till the next M phase. So it is the stage between or the phase between two successive M phases. Okay? Hope you have noted it down. Now it's your turn to quickly summarize so that we can wind up. Yes. What are the two basic stages in cell cycle, Rose? Two basic stages in cell cycle. Again, your audio has got some problem. Tom?
Interphase and M phase.
Interphase and M phase. What are the three stages coming under interphase, Meryl?
G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase.
About G1 phase, what do you know, Emilyn?
They are the between the end of the mitosis and synthesizing of protein and
Synthesizing of protein.
synthesizing of DNA.
Or it is the phase between the end of mitosis and the initiation of DNA replication. Okay, what else?
In this stage, the metabolic activity is actively going, but no DNA
replication. Okay, Sarah, about S phase. During S phase, what is happening?
Synthesis of DNA takes place.
When you say synthesis of DNA, just make it clear what is happening there.
Replicating of DNA.
Replication of DNA. I need more clarity in that sentence. When you say replication, what do you mean by that? The number is increasing?
Yes, ma'am.
That is what I was explaining. No? The number will increase. Then?
Number won't increase, only the
Alice, what will be increasing? Number is not increasing.
Chrome.
Lakshmi?
Ma'am.
Lakshmi?
The DNA content increases.
The content increases, not the number. Which is the next phase? Jyoti?
G2 phase.
In G2 phase, what is happening?
Proteins are synthesized and cell growth is continued.
Cell growth is continued and proteins are synthesized. And I told some cells will enter into a stage of inactivity. Inactivity in terms of its division, ability to divide. And that stage is known as quiescent stage. And what happens in quiescent stage? Anashwara? Tell me about quiescent stage.
Ma'am, it is a stage of inactivity in which cells do not divide further.
But they will remain?
In the G1 phase. After existing the G1 phase.
After exiting the G1 phase, they will enter into this particular phase. What type of cells will enter the stage? The cells which do not,
Remain in which are
they'll
not
be metabolically active. But what is special about those cells which enter into this stage?
they will be not proliferate unless required.
They will not
They do not proliferate.
proliferate means they will not divide further until required. Okay. Then what is interphase, Shabari? What is meant by interphase?
Interphase is the phase in which the cell prepares itself for cell growth by. It is a phase in which cell prepares itself for cell division by cell growth. And
Pardon?
integration.
Once again.
It is the phase in which the cell prepares itself for cell division by DNA replication and cell growth.
Okay. And one more point we learned. It's a phase between two
M phases.
Two successive M phases. And how can you define a cell cycle? Eva, how do you define a cell cycle?
Ma'am, the life period of a cell during which a cell synthesizes DNA, divides into two daughter cells and groups.
Okay. What is analyst's doubt? Ma'am, in human body, it has 46 chromosomes. After cell division, 23 chromosomes are given to gametes, right? What did you mean actually? Where are you? Analyst in all our body cells. All the cells in our body except reproductive cells or except in gametes, we have 46 chromosomes. But your reproductive cells, there another type of division is taking place. Meiotic division. There the cells will be dividing in such a way that the chromosome number will get reduced. You will be learning in detail about that, about equational division, reductional division. Where are you, analysts? I cannot make out where you are. That was your doubt? So in certain divisions, the cell undergoes division and produces new cells where the chromosome numbers will be same. The cell undergoing division and the newly formed cells will have the same chromosome number. Yet another division is there where the parent cell will divide and the daughter cells produced will have half the number of chromosomes. You call it as reductional division, and first one is equational division. You will learn the details in the next classes. Okay. Thank you, children. See you next class.
Thank you.